whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
I'm attorney Gavin Richard. I grew up here in New Orleans, so I know how important family, friends, and community are to us. And helping others has been a lifelong passion of mine. If you've been injured in an accident, you may be out of work and faced with large medical bills. You'll need someone to fight the insurance companies so that you can get on with your life. Give me a call at 504-799-2288, and I'll be with you all the way. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served.
Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jello, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. The place to be is right here with me. It is Random Topic Tuesdays on channel GBoo 2786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Tonight, we discuss the following. Chris Cuomo in trouble again. Trial for Musty Jussie began on Monday and continues on day 2. And finally, Kevin Steele asked the United States Supreme Court to overturn Cosby ruling. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you like this channel. Also, if you could please contribute and donate to this channel via the Cash App, GooglePay, PayPal, and Zelle. I will greatly appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have to pay some dues. Let us go and let me tell you all about, of course, our seasoning blend, NawniesCreoleBlends.com. NawniesCreoleBlends.com. Nawnies is a flavor that everyone will love, especially this holiday season. If you try it on anything from your turkey to even your ham, if you're into that, or even in that nice potato salad that you're making, and it's for everyone. So try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish, straight from Nolans. You heard me. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to tell you about our music group that we have. Our music, of course, I always promote that because I'm also into songwriting and collaborations and music composing. I do it all, but I try to at least. I wouldn't say I do it all. I'm busy on different stuff, but this is the website, NawniesCreoleBlends.com. And ladies and gentlemen, you can also check out and download Video Soul, which is released by me under the G Rich moniker. You can go to Amazon, Apple, and Spotify and download that. You can also stream it. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, our theme song for tonight, and as always, is Gotta Get On Up. So before we get into the topics, let's go ahead before we get on up or get on down. Let's get on up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll begin shortly.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat. Cause on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up.
Baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor, get on up, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? Salute to you, Tyree. Also, Darius from Atlanta, my man. Computer Robots, Danielle, Butterfly 70. All of y'all, thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of Random Topic Tuesdays here on channel GBoo2786 on Gavin Richard, my YouTube channel, backup channel, and also on Facebook. I don't know why I look darker in this. Hold on. See if I can brighten up the screen. Okay. I don't know. Is it me? What's good, Clay Stevenson? How is everybody doing? We got, it is hot and heavy in here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started in a little bit. I want to first off, let me just tell you about the day I had. My day actually went pretty good today. I went on WBOK. I don't know if anybody listened to it, but I was on WBOK earlier this morning promoting my book, this upcoming book, of course, we know, entitled The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in the United States. That is a must read. And excuse me one second. I want everybody, if you can now, I want you to go to the Facebook page we have here. And I'm going to post it for you all again. Facebook page is the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at Commonwealth Cause. That's just the easiest way to put it. And this is the link actually for you all to go and check it out. If you go to Facebook right now, go to Facebook right now, like this page, like it right now, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to go right here. I'm going to show it to you as soon as the damn screen will come up. We're going to go ahead. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. I actually put and reached out, and I don't know what happened, but okay. So it says my content is unavailable. I don't know what the hell this is, but I tried to share the Facebook page for WBOK. I actually put it on Facebook, on my timeline, my Gavin Richard timeline, so everybody could go to WBOK and listen live to it. I even did a live stream from my phone while I was there being interviewed by the professor and Sally Ann Robbins. And shout out to my man Lee, who produced the show, and even to Troy Henry, because Mr. Henry allowed me to come on the show and promote my book. So I am thankful to him for that. I will say that to everyone here. What's up, Sharon White? But it was a great interview, man. It was a great interview. I was prepared to talk about the case and ready for any ambush. You're gonna have me come up there like Umar with Rolly. Are you really a doctor? Are you really a lawyer? I thought Roland was gonna come out there, because Roland actually does I think commercials and stuff with WBOK. They have some type of affiliation with him. But so I thought Roland was going to be in there and ambush me. But no, I was ready. It didn't matter, man. I was prepared for my sting. And we had a good conversation. I spoke with Sally Ann Roberts. She was interested in the case. And, what's interesting, I will go ahead. I was given the link to the audio for those that did not listen to it. So What I will try to do is upload it on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania page, the Bill Cosby page that I have for the book, so everybody could hear it. And she asked about, well, it wasn't an exoneration with regards to the Supreme Court decision when someone's conviction is overturned. And I told her that's incorrect, which it is. Because in America, as most of you know, we have people right now, and I didn't talk about this in my last live stream, but I will when Sean comes on. We have had people who have been wrongfully convicted, even recently, some old civil rights cases from the 1950s I saw in Florida, where their convictions have been overturned by the governor or the courts because they realized they did not get a fair trial. They realized that they didn't have rights to an attorney. They were facing these rednecks, these vicious pissant rednecks who were essentially dead set on convicting them without due process, without fairness and impartiality. And that was the case with Bill Cosby. And, I called it what it is. It's a high-tech lynching. It was a lynching. And to that regard, the brother who was there, the professor, he disagreed with me and said, it's not a lynching. That's not a lynching because that was a lynching. He's still, I said, yes, it was. Well, I said, and he got silent when I said that. I said, well, that's your opinion, but this is mine. It was a lynching. And you speak to any former judge like Judge Joe Brown, shout out to him, some lawyers, they even say the same thing. Now, Bill Cosby, of course, is trending in the news. He was trending on Thanksgiving, and I don't know for what reason, but I suspect it is something that we will talk about a little bit later on with that Kevin Steele appeal. I didn't want to go and start with that in that particular order. But you know what? Come to think of it, I guess we could go ahead. Let's just get it out the way and do it, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, that interview I did will be uploaded, and I enjoyed it, and we had great conversation. I had people calling in, thanking me, telling me, boy, you brought that heat today. You brought that heat. People were pleased with what I was saying. Because most people, I think, they know that it's all bullshit what's happening with Cosby. You know, people who think he's guilty, people who are attacking him, the people that are not standing by him, it seems more that there's a personal reason. If it's because he didn't like their stand-up comedy, or he refused to take a picture with them, or he didn't want to, he didn't like Def Comedy Jam, whatever it is, there's something personal there that happened. And we see that's why some of our, especially our quote black people, yes, it will be uploaded. I don't know either. Well, this WBOK is a local radio station. Now, Sally Ann Roberts, she was the host of Eyewitness Morning News here in New Orleans on WWL TV, and her sister is Robin Roberts from Good Morning America. So, yes, I'm gonna upload it later. I will upload it later for everybody to listen to. But let's go ahead, guys, while we got this, because while I'm talking about Cosby, I guess that is a way to segue into this. Kevin Steele asked the United States Supreme Court to overturn the Cosby ruling. Now, this article, of course, is coming from the Washington Informer, written by Stacey Brown, and it was reported on yesterday that 6 months exactly after Bill Cosby was granted his freedom by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, Kevin Steele filed an amicus brief with the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, asking them to overturn the decision by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court which rendered Bill Cosby exonerated or removed from prison. The district attorney wants the nation's highest court to intervene in a non-federal manner to overturn the state's court's decision and send Cosby back to prison. Cosby, 84, has served just 2 months shy of the minimum in his 3 to 10 year prison sentence when the state Supreme Court determined that the prosecution violated his constitutional rights and that Steele acted reprehensibly when trying to entertain him. severe obsession, Cosby spokesman Andrew Wyatt wrote of Steele in a statement this week. Unwilling to accept its epic loss in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, the Montgomery County District Attorney has now filed a petition to the United States Supreme Court. In short, the DA asked the United States Supreme Court to throw the Constitution out the window as it did to satisfy the Me Too mob. There is no merit to the request, which centers on the unique facts of the Cosby case and has no impact on important federal questions of law. Now, let me stop there. And I'm going to finish reading this. In order to sue the Supreme Court, in order to get in front of the Supreme Court, you have to have what's called standing. And that is something we learn in constitutional law 1. You have to have standing in order to be able to even make it in front of the United States Supreme Court. So what he's doing is filing this amicus brief, asking the court for something that they can't even grant. They're not in a position to grant. Steele states that this sets a dangerous precedent for criminals with regards to the press release that was made by Bruce Castor in 2005 that says that it grants them immunity. He says this decision as it stands will have far-reaching negative consequences beyond Montgomery County in Pennsylvania. The U.S. Supreme Court can right what we believe is a grievous wrong. Now, let me say this, and I think I'm going to finish reading this part. This is a Chief Justice. Now, those of you remember, I was on Nicole's View back on actually a year tomorrow. Nicole, Drew Story News, Ron Hurd, and myself, we did a live stream. Y'all remember that? I broadcast simultaneously with Nicole and on my channel that hearing before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. It was on a Tuesday on tomorrow. It was on Tuesday of last year, which December 1st is the anniversary. The Supreme Court heard the oral arguments from the defense and from the state. And this Chief Justice Max Baer called out the DA. And I even remembered him walking out of the hearing, turning the camera off when it was the state's turn to respond, when they asked him a barrage of questions to the state. And I'm glad, and I pointed this out even on the radio, I'm glad that it was broadcast because there was no doubt. I don't care what anybody says. Of course, people that are caught up in their emotions may not be able to think about it logically, but there was no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court saw what happened to Bill Cosby was a railroad. He says here, Steele didn't just break the deal, he broke the rules. This is the Chief Justice of the Pennsylvania Superior Court, Max Baer. He says, what we said is we're not going to let the Commonwealth, the state, through district attorneys, to engage in that kind of reprehensible bait and switch. He emphasized the court's decision wasn't to protect Cosby, but 13 million Pennsylvanians against this kind of conduct. Baer concluded that it wasn't the Supreme Court's duty to find guilt or innocence on the part of Cosby. However, what the court did find was an illegal prosecution on the part of the state. What we found was what the state did was inappropriate. And of course, people have tried to say it's a technicality, but it was not a technicality. And I pointed this out again on the show this morning. Denial of due process is not a technicality. That is a fundamental right. When you're born in this country, a citizen of the United States, those laws, whether you're black or white, apply to you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let them say it doesn't apply to you. Oh, we're going to get into that in a little bit, Darius. Thank you. What's up, Bella Moore? Jaleel says, I believe something serious is about to, I guess, I don't know what you mean. It's about to Steele. I guess you think something serious may happen to Kevin Steele? Well, you know, let's look at when is that election set to come up? Because I believe it's 2015. I don't know what the term is, but let's look at the Montgomery County DA. When is that race? Because if it is this year, and remember, Steele won in 2015, and he actually prosecuted Bill Cosby shortly after that. At the last minute, he filed this appeal too at the last minute, ladies and gentlemen. He filed this appeal at the last minute. Because yesterday would have marked 6 months. Now, Bruce Castor, who wrote an affidavit and testified at a pretrial hearing, stated that he had a deal with Cosby that he was not going to prosecute. And he even sent an email to reaffirming his successor to the DA's office about this. And based off my information, the Supreme Court even had that. No, Max Baer was the Chief Justice. That's incorrect. He was the Chief Justice unless he is the Chief Justice of Pennsylvania, Supreme Court. It's right here on Wikipedia and on PA courts. He's the Chief Justice. Unless she became, he assumed Thomas Saylor was the Chief Justice previously. But Max Baer is the Chief Justice now. So they rotated. And Max Baer is a Democrat, by the way. But yeah. Castor said he didn't believe Andrea Constand. He didn't find her credible. And he said the only way to rectify this situation, because it was a he said, she said thing, was let's make her a millionaire. They can't let this man have peace at 84 years old. You want to know why? Let me show you something, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. We're going to get to it. I'm not trying to give too much away because I want you to buy the book. But I want you to look at this. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Look right here. You see that? You see that right there? He is worth $400 million. He was at the peak of the show, the highest paid television actor in the world. He made $1 million per episode, but that's not counting producing, creating, composing the music for the TV show and earning $8 million per episode. That's the equivalent of earning $8 million per episode today. So with all that he was doing, it earned a total of $4 million per episode. He owned 20% of the show's equity, which generated hundreds of millions in syndication royalties over the last several decades. But look what they say, that those royalties have mostly dried up in recent years in the wake of his scandals. He also invested in an extremely valuable real estate portfolio and art collection. So this is no dummy. His net worth actually may be higher than that. He is the most successful stand-up comedian of all time in terms of album sales, Grammys, television performances, TV shows, movies. Now, of course, I didn't say he was, I think Richard Pryor to me is the greatest stand-up comedian of all time. But when I say successful, what most stand-up comedians, are looking for in terms of making monies and being able to have expensive cars and go travel places, he's done this. Think of the comedy albums he's put out. You're talking about a 50-plus career, 55-year-plus career that this man has had in this business. But Kevin Steele, you need to sit your ass down. I mean this, and I don't care who's listening. If he's listening, you can share it. He needs to be disbarred. This is Gavin Richard. This is my opinion. He needs to be disbarred, like now. He is using his platform as a district attorney to go after one person. We do not need lynch mobs in America. We don't need people serving in our office going after private citizens because he has a fucking crush. This is a disgrace. And it's a waste of taxpayer money, because when he's going to file that brief, this ain't the radio show. This ain't WBOK. I can curse on YouTube. This is a waste of taxpayer money. Because you think about this guy. I told you this. As a lawyer myself. Y'all know for a fact it costs money every time I, as an attorney, or even some of my colleagues, we charging from the moment we got to wake up, put on our suit and our shoes and our belts, get in our cars, drive all the way to court, and sit and wait. When sometimes we're not the first one up in order to fight your case. This Neanderthal, Kevin Steele, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to get thrown away because he doesn't have standing for it. What the Supreme Court wrote in that argument, basically, they had it around a contract. You had an agreement. It was a verbal agreement. It's just like when prosecutors make plea deals, although this was not a plea deal because Bill Cosby was not indicted. He was not arrested and charged. But they will always ask a person if you could, before you plead to enter a guilty plea, they will say, they will not charge you. They will ask you, what is the crime? They will ask you if you ever, excuse me, I'm sorry, I was reading something. Not what's the crime. They'll ask you about the plea deal. They're going to ask you if you know how to read or write English. And it will also ask you, are you doing this voluntarily? Did someone promise you anything? That's what we call Boykin. Boykin versus Alabama. Go look that Supreme Court case up. It's boycotting someone. And let me be clear. I got to do this, guys. A disclaimer. My thoughts on the law or anything I have to say about the law does not equate to an attorney-client relationship. So let me just say that. Yes, he has violated the professional rules of conduct of a prosecutor. He has used this. He did not have this on probable cause. He is doing this to personally attack a man in his 80s who is blind, who is a veteran, has no evidence whatsoever that he did any wrongdoing other than what some old hoes say. And I'm just going to say it. Some of these women I don't know all of them, but they're lying. A large number of them are lying. I don't understand. I understand completely. I know what it's about. They got caught lying and had to drop their case, like that Christine Ruley woman. The Supreme Court's going to dismiss it. They don't have standing. They don't have standing, Clay. He doesn't have standing. The Supreme Court hears things on federal questions. He hasn't even exhausted the appeals process. You went straight to the Supreme Court. You didn't go. And look, those conservative justices who, like Clarence Thomas and Brett Kavanaugh, who were, I guess you want to say Me Too, although I think Anita Hill was different. They're not going to like it. They're not going to vote in favor of it because they were attacked by this. That's one thing I can say about Trump putting those conservatives on there. They're not tolerating none of this. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you, Darius. Thank you. I'm not holding nothing back. I ain't holding my tongue. Yeah, I said ho, because that's what they are. You're trying to lynch somebody. This is a modern day lynching. I'm gonna say it, and I know I said that, and the brother didn't agree with me, but that it is what it is. There is no federal question. He's trying to say, well, they're extending the press release. It wasn't just the press release. It was the email. The email was part of the exhibit in the Supreme Court's decision. Oh, that old bag, Gloria, all awful red. And let me say this. I got to do this. I'm going to talk about this with Sean tomorrow. You should raise anybody that's with Gloria Allred, particularly a political leader or a politician that's friends with her. Y'all better think twice about voting for them. Because who you keep company with, that's a reflection on you. But let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to follow this. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Donate to the Cash App. So, Jaleel pointed this out. I don't know how true it is, but Chris Cuomo is in trouble again at CNN. Now, I was gonna say this. Yeah, Bill Cosby can sue. I think he's got an opportunity for a malicious prosecution argument. If they have that tort liability in Pennsylvania, I'm likely they do. It's very likely that they do. So, as we're saying this morning, so clearly said Chris is done. Okay, so it is true. Chris is done. All right. So what's going on? I'm just hearing this before I coming on. I didn't know the Nationwide is on your side theme coming on. I don't want a copyright strike. But I want to share this, guys, with you. This came up. So I found out about this, and this is CNBC. They say CNN host Chris Cuomo used his media sources to find out info on Brother Andrew's accusers' records show. So this past couple of weeks, I don't know if you know, but the Office of the Attorney General has been releasing its depositions, its records in Andrew Cuomo, former Governor Andrew Cuomo's sexual assault allegations or sexual misconduct, harassment allegations that they have prominently led to the governor stepping down earlier this year. Now, let me go ahead and play this article because it says here that Chris Cuomo, who is the anchor on CNN, was actively in touch with Melissa DeRosa, who was then the governor's top aide, about incoming media reports that detailed alleged sexual harassment by Andrew Cuomo, according to exhibits from the Attorney General's probe and a transcript of his interview with the state's investigators. He also lobbied to help the governor's office as it sought to weather the storm of accusations, and he dictated statements from the then governor to use. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this ad.
And you can rely, who's always on your side.
Nationwide simplifies retirement planning with easy-to-use tools, so you can spend more time helping clients.
Nationwide is on your side.
We're told they discussed the stimulus and the looming government shutdown. No progress on either announced. As always, Democrats and Republicans are blaming each other, and again, the clock is ticking. A new study shows 12 million Americans could lose.
Chase First Banking, a debit card for kids and a set of tools to help them learn good money habits. By creating allowances and assigning chores, they can practice earning every day. With a debit card just for them, they'll learn smart spending firsthand, while you monitor and set account alerts. And using their own Chase mobile app, they can set big savings goals, all with no monthly service fee. Chase First Banking.
New York's Attorney General releasing videos of former Governor Andrew Cuomo and his accusers testifying under oath to investigators. Nearly 12 hours worth of testimony made public. The videos give us an up-close look at how then Governor Cuomo handled questions about the allegations that ultimately ended his tenure as governor. Here's Jonathan Dienst, chief investigative reporter for NBC4 New York.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Former Governor Cuomo appeared sour from the start of his deposition. During his hours of testimony, he was seemingly at times uncooperative, even combative.
How do you want to define girlfriend?
Did you date her?
How do you want to define date?
How do you define date?
But it doesn't matter how I define date. How do you define date? Because it's your question.
Cuomo denied ever inappropriately touching, harassing, or groping any of his accusers.
That never happened.
In addition to Cuomo's video testimony, the Attorney General today released videos of 6 accusers, all who alleged wrongdoing by Cuomo or a toxic work environment.
I remember him going straight to my butt, just definitely trying to touch me. And I remember standing there like okay, like I kind of froze.
And for the first time, we see testimony from Cuomo's former top aide, Melissa DeRosa. She testified she did not see Cuomo harass anyone. And investigators seem to touch upon unsubstantiated rumors, which she and Cuomo deny, that they had an affair.
Has the governor ever kissed you on the mouth? No.
DeRosa, after hours of questioning.
Would it surprise you to learn that the governor frequently kissed Annabelle Walsh on the mouth?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you that?
No. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so tired.
She called it a day, and questioning resumed the next day. Transcripts also released of Cuomo's brother, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo. He admitted being looped in on conversations and emails when the allegations surfaced. In March of this year, DeRosa texted him about rumors of more people coming out and asked him to check his sources. Chris Cuomo responded he was on it, later answering that no one heard anything yet. Under oath, Chris Cuomo denied taking part in any opposition research on his brother's accusers. I'm not in the oppo research business. That's not what I'm about. In Albany, the district attorney there is still deciding whether to proceed with a misdemeanor groping charge against Cuomo. Amid an ongoing debate if the sheriff there properly filed charges without first consulting with the DA. For the news, I'm Jonathan Dienst.
Tonight, in a statement to CNBC, CNN said it will review the Attorney General's documents regarding anchor Chris Cuomo and have additional conversations over the next few days about how they relate to CNN.
Forget that. They already did it. That was quick. So this just happened. CNN suspends and Brother Jaleel confirmed it. Thank you. He is suspended indefinitely. And CNN released this statement while when Chris admitted to us, of course, Chris admitted that he offered advice to his brother's staff. He broke our rules, and we acknowledge that publicly. But we also appreciate the unique position he was in and understood his need to put his family first and job second. However, these documents point to a greater level of involvement in his brother's efforts than we have previously known or knew, excuse me. As a result, we have suspended Chris indefinitely pending further evaluation. The suspension came within hours of a demand by former aide to Andrew Cuomo, Charlotte Bennett, that CNN should fire Chris Cuomo. Bennett said Chris Cuomo had tried to smear her and her other women who had accused his brother of sexual harassment. Anything short of firing Chris Cuomo reflects a network lacking morals and a backbone, Bennett wrote in a tweet in which she said his behavior is reprehensible, unprofessional, and inexcusable. Does CNN stand by journalistic integrity, or will it simply excuse his actions because Chris Cuomo drives ratings? Now, there is a link here in the email where Chris Cuomo, so Zach Fink says there's a transcript of a text message from Chris Cuomo forwarding a purported set of documents concerning Charlotte Bennett from her time in college. So now I'm looking at this. He says, I don't know if you guys can see it. The writing is kind of small. Let me share it on Twitter because it might be. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ashe, for your contribution. But let's go ahead and look at this right quick. This is the tweet that he's referring to. So this is Chris Cuomo's deposition. He says, I would never do Oppo research on anybody alleging anything like this. I'm not in the Oppo research business. I don't tolerate a lot of Oppo research on any level. And I was never aware of anything like what you're suggesting, nor did I ever participate in, nor did I ever suggest, nor would I ever tolerate anything like what you're suggesting. Okay, when you say Oppo research, what do you mean? The idea of trying to find ways to disparage people who come forward with allegations like this is not what I'm about. Well, then he's asked by the attorney, do you recall at some point that you received a complaint related to Hamilton College? No. Okay, we'll come to that in a minute then. I understand what you're saying. You didn't do any opposition research on any of the women who have. I don't even know of any Oppo research being done. So then they flip it over. Let's go to tab 117. This is a text message from Chris Cuomo forwarding a purported set of documents concerning Charlotte Bennett from her time in college. Do you see that? I do, or it looks like tweets, like he's sending tweets about something. And on the second page, the page with the number 471, there is a blank against blank that involves Charlotte Bennett. Do you see that in the tweet? Yeah. Were you involved in any discussions about this? No. Do you remember reacting to this tweet or this information that Chris Cuomo shared? I honestly don't even remember this. And I'm still having trouble understanding what this is. Wait, no, I don't remember this. So this is supposedly a text message. Now, here's my take on it. It is not a surprise that a brother would look out for his family member, your son. If your brother was, man, Busher, stop. Mario and Frodo, the Cuomo brothers. Boo, 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. And you know something? Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. It's about finding dirt on your opponent. And a lot of people do that. I mean, look, CNN, though, look, they stood behind, and I saw the tweet there. I don't know if you saw it. They stood behind Jeffrey Tobin when he was playing with his ding-a-ling on that Zoom call. They brought him back. They got Don Lemonade, who's being accused of groping a man. You know, they have done a lot of shady crap in the past. I mean, I'll never forget when CNN had that false flag. They did that false flag report when they were over in Iraq back in the 90s, where they were acting like a missile was coming in and they had that alarm blasting off. Y'all remember that? Lubin Tubin. Yeah, Lubin Tubin and Don Lemonade all met at the Gay Blade. And you know something? I don't even know if he did this or not. I'm talking about the governor, former governor Andrew Cuomo. I wasn't there. People are saying things, and of course, like what they say, there's smoke, there's fire. But isn't this all funny how Chris Cuomo defended his brother, gets caught trying to put dirt on these accusers, and yet when Bill Cosby was accused of doing the things that he was, and CNN stood by and just allowed these women to talk and people to make all kinds of accusations without screening them, ladies and gentlemen, not screening them. And Chris Cuomo, let's be real, when he had Jennifer Bojin, who is Bill Cosby's appellate lawyer, come on his platform and interrupt her and lie and talk bullshit. And this is a former prosecutor. These guys, him and his brother, they're lawyers. They'll be fine. Yeah, CNN is propaganda network. There are no real reporters, not since Bernard Shaw probably might have been the only last one. Everything is agenda driven. And let's be clear, Jeff Zucker had something against Bill Cosby from what Andrew Wyatt reported. Zucker is not even the head of CNN International anymore. No, they didn't. They didn't give it for O.J. Simpson either. Tobin in particular. These nuts roasting on an open salad. Ooh. Dip Frost picking at his nose. How the Jackson 5 sing it. Although it's been said many times in a blaze, have your dips nuts. Have your dips, have your dip nuts. I'm just rambling. Dip nuts. Ooh, food you. Food your dip nuts. Know your dip nuts, food your dip nuts to you. To you, know your dip nuts, and it's poo. Jingle bells. I know it didn't make any sense. I'm going ham on this, and I know there are people probably for the first time watching me doing this. And Miss Sally Ann and Professor, if you're watching, just know this is not the radio station. I know how to act when I'm on YouTube and on the internet versus when I'm in the radio. It's different. I'm a little more free. But yeah, what do y'all think will happen to Chris Cuomo? Yeah, play that. Oh, I would love to make a Christmas album. I just gotta have y'all. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page. Why don't y'all give me? I need some Christmas album money to pay these musicians and producers. Merry Christmas to you. How about this? We miss you, Merry Dip Nuts, for you and you, Merry Dip Nuts, and a Happy New Year. Boom, boom. The Cuomo Fire. Play this for Nicole. She'll love it. Nicole and her Michael Jackson. Oh my Lord, it's like attacking a pastor. My gosh. Merry. Ooh. The Cuomo Five. No. Merry. No. How about that? No. Oh God. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, guys. We're gonna keep monitoring this, but yeah, Chris Cuomo, my parents will be looking for him tonight and wondering what happened, and I will say nothing. Let them find out on their own. They'll be sitting on the screen. What's Anderson Cooper doing on here this early? Yeah, he's gonna be fine. I mean, that's a multi-millionaire. His daddy was the first his daddy was Mario Cuomo. Their dad's Mario Cuomo. He'll be all right. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. I'm sorry, I was checking on Pops. Yeah, 2 minutes. Tell your parents Cuomo's trapped in the closet. Boom. What the hell is going on with my stupid asshole son? Daddy, let me explain. I didn't mean to disgrace the governor's name. Boy, I'm out to have a fit. Oh man, I'm gonna be some shit. How did I get into this? Such an enough job as at the CNN desk. What the hell is wrong, son? Where the hell you come from? Come on, y'all wrong. Well, I knew Al was an informant for the FBI for a long time. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, guys. Let's get in. We got our final topic. Let's talk about Musty Jussie. Hit the streets, your ass is crass. Musty Jussie began his Musty Jussie Smollett began his trial on Monday. His trial on Monday for faking an incident involving himself, faking a hate crime incident that happened back in early 2020. Now, we go to the news story. Of course, the prosecutors began their case, and today was a second trial for Jussie Smollett. And Chicago Police Department officers testified that the actor staged his own attack, and his brother spoke out. So we go to Chicago ABC 7 in Chicago for the news story. Ladies and gentlemen.
Several days and a whole lot of evidence to draw that conclusion. He told jurors that everyone from the mayor on down wanted to know what happened. So detectives took their time, and he said there was no rush to judgment. Flanked by his mother and siblings, Jussie Smollett walked into court today ready to listen to evidence detailing the disorderly conduct case against the former Empire star, a case which Smollett's brother says is false.
It has been incredibly painful as his family to watch someone you love be accused of something they did not do. All right? We're confident in his legal team, and we look forward to people hearing the actual facts in this case.
Prosecutors say there are facts that show that Smollett staged his own hate crime. The state's first witness was Chicago police detective Michael Thies. He led an investigation that involved more than 24 detectives, 3,000 man-hours, 1,500 hours of surveillance video, dozens of phone records, and social media messages. Thies told jurors, quote, "We determined the alleged hate crime as a staged event." On a cold January night in 2019, Smollett claimed he was walking home from a Subway restaurant when he was attacked by two men wearing ski masks who were yelling racial and homophobic slurs. Smollett believed one of his attackers was white. For several days, Smollett was considered a victim, but became a suspect when brothers Amabola and Olabinjo Asundero told police they were hired by Smollett to carry out the hoax. And while the actual attack was not caught on tape, investigators were able to piece together through videotape, text, and social media messages the movements of the brothers and Smollett leading up to it, including a dry run the day before, where Smollett is seen on video picking the brothers up and driving them downtown. These testified everything the brothers told police, detectives were able to independently verify. So far, Detective Thies is the only person on the witness stand right now, the only witness right now. He is being cross-examined, and the brothers are expected to testify for the prosecution sometime this week. We have
Judy, it was here police say that alleged staged attack happened back in January. Smollett would later be indicted on 16 counts of lying to police, charges that were later dropped. Tonight, we are getting our very first look at video of that night.
It's like the star who works on the show Empire, so I think he doesn't want that to be a big deal. You understand what I'm saying?
Chicago police officers walk into Jussie Smollett's Streeterville apartment.
Any weapons or anything? No.
And right there in his living room, captured on body camera footage, Smollett is standing there with a rope he claims is a noose, loosely coiled several times around his neck. Police blurred Smollett's face in the video they released. Just after that, the recordings of the exchange go dark at Smollett's request.
Man, that's curtain streaming.
Turn it off?
Yeah, you're giving us permission to shut it off?
Police say this is where Smollett's fabricated report of a hate crime began.
Illinois, it's not crossing the door.
Surveillance video shows the brothers Smollett allegedly hired to help him, climbing into a cab disguised in what looks like hazmat suits that one of them tightens around his face, headed for a prearranged attack site. When Smollett was considered a victim, police initially released this snapshot of the supposed suspect walking down the street. This is the video version of that photo. Weeks later, Chicago police officers were waiting on the tarmac for the brothers when they returned from Nigeria. Later that night, inside a Southside police station, the brothers claimed to investigators Jussie Smollett had paid them to stage the attack he'd reported as a hate crime.
Jussie Smollett continues to stand by his version of events and maintains that he was attacked. Meanwhile, there is still a federal investigation going on into a threatening letter that was addressed to Smollett and sent to the set of Empire.
Walking down the street late at night, and two white men came out. One night,
We have more breaking news right now from suburban Niles this afternoon.
The victim. He was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. You see,
This was in 2019, guys. Excuse me, I said 2020.
And he is black, not just French.
I'll just say this on the trial.
I live in Ohio, and anyone that knows anything about Ohio, just afraid. We were so quiet about the shit that the gay community started accusing African Americans. Oddly quiet. The whole country was up in arms, just talking about it all the time on the news, and for some reason, African Americans, we were like oddly quiet.
I can't play the rest of it because they'll hit me
We
with
were
a
so
product.
quiet about this shit that the gay community started accusing African American community of being homophobic for not supporting.
They're gonna hit me with a copyright
They didn't
strike, so I'm
understand
gonna.
is that we
Lord.
were supporting him with our silence because we understood that this nigga was clearly lying.
I can't play no more. They'll hit me with that copyright strike. Some research. Dave nailed it, didn't he? Oh, no. Dave Chappelle nailed it. I'll pick that up later. When we talk, yeah, Subway sandwiches. Phantom Beat says my 6-year-old grade school play was pulled off better than that stunt. Hell, my second grade Christmas play was better than that stunt, man. Remember when he called himself the gay Tupac after this? No, like nigga, you weren't the gay Tupac, you were the gay Milli Vanilli. Although it couldn't get any gayer than Milli Vanilli, I guess. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. Dave nailed it indeed. Oh man. Dave nailed it indeed with this, man. What did y'all think of that? So his trial resumed today. Of course, he's charged with disorderly conduct. Now, I will say this, in fairness, because I like to call things fair. I like to call things fair. If he were not who he was, obviously a star on television, and had he not pulled this stunt and made it public, I do not think that this would even go to trial. This would have been a misdemeanor at best, a misdemeanor charge for falsifying a police report. He would have done some community service, paid a fine, things of that nature, and would call it a day. The prosecutors wanted to, and I think the police and the police department in general wanted to send a message, because they did not, and Kim Foxx, of course, being the DA, she had originally cut a deal with him. They null processed, but made him pay a fine and court costs or something like that. And he was fine, good. But they decided to bring him in, the AG's office, because he, according to them, orchestrated this attack with the help of these two brothers that he got from Wakanda. I did, and that new, and they were upset because obviously, like I say again, they use states' resources, they use taxpayer money to do this, and the special prosecutor is Dan Webb in this matter, because Kim Foxx recused herself, and I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Kim Foxx is actually close with the Smollett family. I know this, Jussie Smollett is actually, if I'm not mistaken, related to Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris. And some people have speculated that the reason he faked that hate crime, allegedly, and I'm only saying alleged because he's entitled to due process, but
I didn't believe it either, Darius. Especially that late at night for a sandwich or a salad. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. But they said this is MAGA country. See, it just seemed odd. And I'm a person who was a victim of a hate crime myself. I got into a fight, I've told you before, with someone, a white boy, who called me a nigger. I believed it was a hate, it was a hate crime for me. And I do take exception to people faking stuff like this because it does a disservice to the cause. Because when we have the boy situations where the boy cries wolf, and when we actually get a real situation, too many times when we see too many stories that may or may not be true come out, or really that are proven to be false, it does a disservice to anybody who would think, well, if he's lying about this or this doesn't happen, man, I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm not going to come back and support him because he keeps lying. You keep lying over and over again, people are going to get tired of you and not believe your crap. We have that with, hence why a lot of people are not voting. Excuse me, my bracelet broke off. Hold on. African bracelet I got. Okay. I'll get it a little later. Stop it, Darius. I'm not even gonna post what you just I'm not gonna post what you said. I'm not posting what you just said. You're gonna get me kicked off of hate speech up in here. Y'all got me sick coughing. A coughing fit. I don't need this shit during Christmas. Musty Jussie. So yeah, so second day of trial court began, and of course, the defense attorneys are saying that the attack wasn't fake and that Smollett was hurt in the incident. The other two men involved were sophisticated criminals. Remember what the Chicago police had to say about this? Remember when the superintendent spoke and he was turned in on charges back in 2019? This was the superintendent, then Superintendent Eddie Johnson. Remember what he had to say. Right. This is something that really should have just been a fine, and he pleads guilty and walks off. But they want to take him, drag him to the barbecue because he used taxpayer money, the state's time and resources on this, and that's why he's being brought. That's why he's being brought to trial. That's why they're doing this, to make an example of
this announcement today recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. I'm left hanging my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations? How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile? Smollett attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial, homophobic, and political language. When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process. And why? This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary. So he concocted a story about being attacked.
Coming out of the court here, what we just heard. Can we just give someone a backstory? Is anybody well versed enough to share with us what transpired Got it. All right.
From Chicago. Okay. Well, the history of the case.
Yes, please.
On the coldest night in Chicago, Jussie Smollett said that he was assaulted by two white men. Okay, I'm sorry. That was Judge Joe Brown show. The judge went off on him. You know, this 65 punk ought to be charged indefinitely for disorderly conduct. He used this to further his damn career, and his career ain't even shit. This little termite needs to be made an example of, because he's an example of what that's not that's the right word. He's an example of black masculinity castrated. This little sissified punk. His ass needs to be dragged to the barbecue for this crap. That's how Judge would say it. You have to have evidence, and there's evidence that Mr. Smollett or Musty Jussie was out trying to get him some. He went for another. He went for another foot long, but not the $5 offer at Subway. You know, $5 foot long. 8 a minute. Yeah. Oh, Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, your ass is crazy. Yeah. Oh, you trying to mess with my player from a Himalaya up in Chicago, Chi-Town, home of the Mac, man. This 65 punk needs to be made an example of. He used state resources to bust it wide open on us. He's used to busting it wide open, and he busted wide open on the city of Chicago that night. This little termite. Mark Lamont Hill would be right there. But judge, that was an assault, Judge. Judge, that was an assault. Judge, that was an assault. Judge, Judge. Yeah, it cost him his job. So he got fired from Empire. He got kicked off because of, the distraction it was causing on set. Now they're saying, of course, that the show was going downhill anyway, and I believe that. Well, thank you, Danielle. I appreciate it. You can't with me right now. I'm in a relationship anyway. Yeah. I see Kid Gravity is there when Busher. He has been on this Jussie Smollett thing, and Darius from Atlanta. You little punk, you, I got to tell you, I got to thank you for all your contribution this evening. And also I got to thank you for your doing your due diligence and in searching and putting up this disclaimer so I don't have to do this. Thank you, Star, for your contribution. It was a horrible show, and it was agenda. Speaking of agenda, and I'm going to talk about this with Sean on Thursday. Have y'all seen this ad? I'm about to get out of here, but have y'all seen this? Hold on. This is coming from The Guardian. I got to talk about it on Thursday. It's going to be a topic, but if you want to avert your eyes, do so right now in 5 seconds, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a Christmas advertisement posted by, this is the Norwegian Postal Service posting, showing Santa Claus in a relationship with a divorced man and father. It's worse than cuddling. Now, I'm going to talk about this, and regardless of how you feel, I know some people don't celebrate Christmas or whatever. here on this channel and on this in the chat. Some of you may not. Uh, you know, I do celebrate Christmas. Christmas has always been a part of my family growing up as a kid, and many other families across this country. And of course, as children and kids alike, adults with the heart of a child, we love Christmas and the idea and person of Santa Claus, or the real person that he was, and Saint Nicholas, because of the spirit of giving that he represents. So they put this ad to celebrate 50 years of Norway decriminalizing homosexuality. Now, they went after cartoons, the Muppet Babies, for instance. They have getting Muppets. They have Gonzo wearing a dress. It was a cartoon, I believe, out in the Netherlands called John Dinterman about this. It's like a Mr. Bill Gumby type of cartoon where John Dinterman, where he's actually using his penis as an appendage and a weapon and so forth. He can fly a helicopter with it. This is all being shown to children. You just had this professor who was forced to step down because he was defending, saying that pedophilia should be decriminalized, and how young attractive person, whatever the crap he was talking about, all of this stuff. All of this crap that's going on, and you attack a character, a person, I guess if you want to say a popular myth, but it's based on a real person who we never really thought of as being homosexual or gay. We didn't think of, really and truthfully, we never thought of Santa Claus as a sexual person as kids, because kids don't think about that stuff. We thought of, yes, of course, he had Mrs. Claus. He had a wife. And the reason why he had a wife was obvious, because marriage was between a man and a woman. It was natural. It is natural. Male and female produce life. You're exactly right, Busha. But I could not with this. Now, I'm going to talk about it on the show because I want Sean's opinion Thursday. I already spoke with him, and Harvey even commented on it, because we were just talking about the stuff that was going on with the Cosby case, and Harvey had brought this point up in a conversation. And as soon as we got off, I saw this advertisement that someone had sent me. It is disgusting. There are other ways they could, of course, people can celebrate anniversaries how they want or whatever, people who are part of that community. But to take Santa Claus, Father Christmas, someone based off of a saint, I thought was highly sacrilegious and inappropriate. I mean, man, they don't hide it. They're not hiding it. But I'm going to talk about that Thursday. But I know Sean is going to do, when I take a critical, how does Sean talk? Nah. Well, it's time to take the Norwegian Postal Service posting to the barbecue. And when I take a critical examination of this godforsaken commercial, in my critical opinion, I think that it is misleading to young kids and is also disgusting to the Most High, because the Most High created male and woman and female and a male for the purposes of procreation. And to take Father Christmas and make him tie even to an ugly ass man who has no sense of credibility or loyalty, in my humble opinion, I think that this is false. Oh, I'm a fool tonight. Y'all, I got to get out of here. Yeah, I'm getting out of here, y'all. I'm going to go check on Pops in a second. So
I think they are. Yes, they are. We got to be careful. How did y'all like my Sean? I'm gonna show Sean. I'm gonna do a Sean on Thursday, but I'm sure Sean will not even laugh because Sean. It's hard to get him to laugh even at anything. The gay Tupac. No, you Milli Vanilli. It's the man crisis has struck Norway now with this Poston commercial. Just it is worse even than that Netflix movies, Cuties. That was just false. That was just a terrible uh, set piece of work. But this takes the cake, and I mean a bigger cake than that celebration station cake that you used to get that was always ice cold. I mean, when you take a look at this thing here, of course, Santa Claus is a symbol of benevolence and giving and spirit. And to have him portrayed as a deviant homosexual in this relationship and the woman essentially in the relationship, I think it is a flat out. All right. I got to get up out of here, guys. I'm actually, it's movie night with the lady, and I got to finish because I got a PowerPoint presentation to do Friday, so I got to get all of that together. I could do all of them. I could do Sean. I could do Ron Hurt. This is We All Be News, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century. Yes, how would Judge Joe Brown look at that commercial? Oh, this is just nonsense. This is just sickening crap. This is sickening crap to put Santa Claus on here. Next, we're going to see Rudolph fucking the elf on the shelf. Come on, y'all. This is ridiculous. Next, I'm going to see Frosty the Snowman getting a blowjob from Mr. Bingo. Ain't this a... Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to discourage our Christmas symbols, but they did it first. When Pookie goes to jail, Bubba and Tiny is going to turn that tight end into a wide receiver. That's Sean. Yes, buy Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go to knownascreoleblends.com and buy my brother, Gavin Richard, the counselor's seasoning and spices here. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nona's goes great with every dish. This is known as Creole Blends. Go ahead and buy them. If you don't, you're going to be a sissified, punked out some bitch like Maurice Lamont Hill. You don't want to do that because Dr. Cosby didn't get his due process. Okay. If you'd like to advertise on this channel, if you would like to advertise on GBoot2786 channel, you go and hit the email at gavin.grich1@gmail.com. And you can also hit up his Patreon. It is GBoot2786. Now, when you take a musical examination of G-Boot's music and the songs that he has put out, you should go to Amazon and Apple and Spotify and listen to Video Soul, which is his brother Richard's latest song. And you also should take a critical examination of the theme song to this show. Gotta get on up, because as we have gotten on down, it is time to get on up. Now, I'm going to end this broadcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like for you tonight to donate to Gavin's channel at GooglePay at gavin.grich1@gmail.com and also at Zelle at the phone number at the bottom. But most importantly, if you hit the Cash App, go to Gavin Richard Esquire.
stay safe, and stay away from beta males. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gavin Richard with Gavin Richard Presents in Sean James's voice, the author extraordinaire of The Man Crisis on Amazon.com and Kindle. I have written over 80 books and still need a vacation. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you could, go to Amazon and go ahead and buy the John Haynes series, The Man with Nothing to Lose, and also Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, which you can buy. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to buy a couple of other books, including The Man Crisis, which is available on Amazon, and Stop Simping in Cyberspace on Amazon with the SJS Directive. That's all I have to say for this video. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I love you all. Merry Christmas, and stay away from beta males like Santa Claus.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe then you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, subscribe.